Christian Bale was preparing for his role in American Psycho, dressing the part, hitting the gym, getting his teeth redone. There was just one problem. He didn't actually have the part. Leonardo DiCaprio did. What Went Wrong is a podcast dedicated to the idea that every movie is a miracle. Join Lizzie Bassett and Chris Winterbauer every other week as they unearth the chaos and humanity behind Hollywood's biggest flops and most shocking successes. They aren't here to dunk on your favorite films. They're here to celebrate movies. As the New York Times said, they're movie industry people who truly love films and the people who make them. Listen to What Went Wrong wherever you get your podcasts.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
That party last night was awfully crazy. I wish we taped it.
This week, we're joined by special guest Sean Quilty to dive into Asher Roth's 2009 party anthem, I Love College. From sticky bar floors to top 20 charts, this catchy hit captured a specific moment in pop and hip-hop culture, sparking the brief but memorable wave of frat rap. As Philly natives, Matt and Sean reflect on Roth's early days, his MySpace-era discovery by Scooter Braun, and how the song's beer-soaked nostalgia resonated with a generation. Along the way, we dig into Roth's post-radio evolution, his lyrical highs and lows, and whether his later indie releases reveal an artist with much more to offer than just cake stands and bong rips.
Time isn't wasted when you're getting wasted. Woke up today and all I could say is that party last night was awfully crazy. I wish we taped it. I wish we taped it. One hit is all you need to make the money guaranteed, and you can live off royalties forever. And it makes me wonder, is it just a wonder, or is it one hit thunder?
Yo guys, I have some interesting news. From the time we're recording this in the year 2025, 2009 was 16 years ago. So us talking about I Love College by Asher Roth would be the equivalent if we were making a show in the year 2000 and talking about a song from the year 1984. Is that wild or what?
Hate that factoid.
That's unsettling.
I have a crazy factoid about Asher Roth that I want to start right out the gate with. I got two Asher Roth facts before we dive into this. Fact number one, Asher Roth and I are almost the exact same age.
Okay.
This song is about his time at Westchester University, which I almost attended, which means that I almost was in Asher Roth's graduating class if I had gone to Westchester.
You were almost in college with the I Love College guy.
With the I Love College guy.
You could have come to that party.
But secondly,
gone to that party.
And this is a rare thing that we do on this show, this is an advertisement for our Patreon.
Okay.
When this song came out, I hated it so much, and I was playing in Westchester regularly, that I wrote a parody song.
Oh my God.
Called I Love College But Hate Asher.
Wow.
And for Patreon, I found the lyrics that I wrote for this song. The Patreon episode for this I Love College episode is going to be me reading my song lyrics to Chris and Sean on my Asher Roth diss track.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, hey, I really jumped into it there. Welcome to the show, Sean. This is our friend Sean Quilty, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. I love the show. And full disclosure, I feel like I strong-armed these guys into letting me be a guest.
No.
It was all about it, man. We're all about having you on. We didn't know that you wanted to come on. And I'm glad you're here. You're also an Eastern Pennsylvania guy, just like Matt Kelly and also Asher Roth. I didn't know.
Dude, yeah, I'm in Westchester. Like, he went to Westchester, and I'm also a Bucks County boy, and he's from Pennsbury and Morrisville, and, you know, he's a white boy that made it with hip-hop these days, you know?
Usually it's a 50-50 chance that whoever we talk about hears the episode. I think there's a higher chance that Asher Roth stumbles upon this episode for a multitude of reasons. First of all, how many people are recording podcasts about Asher Roth in the year 2025? Like, his Google alerts are going to go off when this episode comes out.
I hope so. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like, you know, we had a pretty good scene, like a punk, you know, shows like VFW show scene, but like, you know, like back in the day, like, you know, I'm talking like 2000, like 98 to like 2003 or whatever. But like, there wasn't a lot of hip hop going on, at least that I didn't know about. I mean, and this was like a few years later. I mean, we'll get into this, but I didn't know anything about this dude until 2009, essentially.
The two venues I used to book all the time in Westchester when I was throwing shows was there was a coffee shop called Gennaro's that would rent the top floor of that coffee shop. And I remember bands loved playing there, but hate it set up and breakdown because you literally had to walk your instruments up the fire escape into the top area. And then there was a random church on the university's grounds that had a basement that they would rent to people that was called the Underground. And it was literally just like a tiny, like 50 to 100 person stage set up.
I feel like I might have seen Monine there.
Yeah, I used to book a couple bands there. The one that used to always do well for me was like a doom metal band called Rosetta. I used to book.
Yeah,
in that basement.
I'm pretty sure I have a flyer somewhere with Rosetta on it. But yeah, that sounds familiar.
What I think is interesting about this story is the most 2009 story imaginable because its origins start with MySpace.
Yeah.
Asher
I wish
Roth
we could go back.
is in college putting some freestyles on MySpace, and he catches the attention of an up-and-coming record producer and promoter named Scooter Braun.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That is
It
wild.
was him and Justin Bieber were Scooter
Dude,
Braun's
I know.
two signings.
When I was doing the research, I was like, this guy discovered Justin Bieber. Holy shit.
And notoriously, this is the guy who Taylor Swift had the giant beef
This
with.
is why we had Taylor's
yeah.
versions of albums is because of Scooter Braun. He meets Scooter Braun he messaged him on MySpace, which again, like you said, take us back to the days where you could just have a really weird interaction with a somewhat famous person on the internet and
Shoot your
turn
shot.
into something.
Shoot your shot. Why not?
I mean, like back in like 2011 on Twitter, when that was like actually a good thing and not a horrible fucking cesspool.
Yeah.
I have an Evil Dead tattoo, and I sent it to Bruce Campbell, and he was like, "This is awesome," and I was like, "This is the best fucking day of my life." Like, Bruce Campbell likes my Evil Dead tattoo.
Celebrities were accessible. And I don't know if at this point Scooter Braun was necessarily a celebrity.
No,
but
he was just a dude who had a connection.
Okay. Gotcha. He hadn't had this level of success yet.
What he was at that time was an Atlanta-based promoter and the former vice president of marketing for Jermaine Dupri's record label.
Okay.
So like
that's
had
something.
some credits, but was not like who he is now, where he's, you know, on like mega magazines as one of the biggest names in music as far as like management goes. He flies Asher Roth down to Atlanta and he immediately signs him and gets him on Universal Motown Records for this debut album that drops, Asleep in the Bread Aisle. Now, I remember when this single first came out, it was him rapping over the guitar from Say It Ain't So by Weezer.
Wow.
And Rivers Cuomo was like, what the fuck? And they had to like quickly redo it.
I'm so glad that we talked about this at the Punchline show in Ardmore a couple weeks ago. But I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because and not to like derail the conversation, but the first time I ever heard the song was April 2009, and my friend Tim showed it to me at we'll talk about college, but like I went to Penn State, and this guy went to Penn State, and we were up there for Blue and White weekend, and he was like, dude, you got to hear this. It's like an anthem for like good times. And he played it for me, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I was like, dude, that's Say It Ain't So. And he was like, oh, really? I didn't notice that. But then later when I heard it, when I looked it up, I was like, oh, it's not actually Say It Ain't So. And it was like the Mandela effect, where I was like, I know that it was Say It Ain't So. And I didn't realize that any of this happened until I talked to you at the show.
It's believed that Rivers Cuomo took a lot of issues with the sample, specifically,
understandably so, I guess.
Well, specifically since "Say It Ain't So" is literally a song about his alcoholic, abusive stepfather, and this is a song that's just about getting
partying.
Beyond shit faced.
Well, that I want to talk about that real quick, because Matt, I was shocked at first that I thought you were going to come into this episode being like, I love this, because no offense, man, you like a lot of shitty rap music.
I want to clarify something real quick, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be shitting on Asher Roth through most of this.
Okay.
I don't like this song.
Okay.
But I actually think the rest of his output is way better than this. And that's when I got around to Asher Roth.
Well,
but this song is garbage.
Hold up,
man.
Hold up a second. I'm not taking a side yet, because honestly, I didn't really know this song. I've heard you talk about this song before, Matt, but I didn't really know it at the time. I guess I was a little disconnected from this world or whatever. So I'm kind of experiencing it for the first time, and some things that I had to ask. One, does this age well? Which I think we could maybe all agree, no.
Yeah,
there are certain parts that don't age well.
No. I would say, Sean, you obviously know your beer. And I would like to say I'm not a big beer guy, but Miller Lite is my least favorite beer. And
all right. Yeah, all right. So here's the rub. I know a lot about beer. I brewed beer. I am a big beer fan. I have a 40-ounce collection that's to my right here. I like cheap American light beer, and I'll give Miller Lite a pass.
You give it a pass, okay?
I like it.
I go to one of the other shitty light beers.
What's your shitty light beer?
Bud
choice?
Light or Coors Light? I mean, I'd rather not drink any of those, but Miller Lite for some reason gives me a stomach ache.
See, Bud Light to me is like, I'm not. I'm like a Miller Lite dude.
Okay.
I mean, that's not true, but I'm also like a cheap ass. And I'm pretty sure that Beast Light and Miller Lite are the same beer, just packaged differently. So
That being said, that's the beer that's like shouted out in this song.
Yes, exactly.
That's why I bring it up. And I could see someone arguing, Matt especially, that the chorus of "I love college, I love drinking, I love women, and I love college" could quite possibly be the worst thing you've ever heard in your life. But what I will say is that as a guy who is experiencing this song for the first time in preparation for this episode, the first time I heard this song, even 16 years after it came out, I'm like, if I could put myself back in 09 or even 03, if this, it feels like something from even earlier. It feels like this should have been on the soundtrack to Old School or something.
Totally,
this got credited as the start of what they were referring to as frat hop, like the college-based rap songs. But you're right. This feels older than that.
My point is, I could have told you from the first time I heard this, be it 2003, 2009, when it actually came out, or right now, that this was going to be a hit song.
Yeah. I could have used this song in 2005 for sure.
It's got
it could have made my my dark soul happy, my brain. It would have been this came out a little too late for me, but I would have loved it if it came out while like 2005, 2006 essentially.
So I agree with you that the chorus of the "I love college, I love drinking, I love women, man, I love college" is terrible. What makes it work and why I agree with you that hearing it, you could tell it was going to be a hit, is honestly the yelling of hey after everything.
Yeah.
Because like that's the part where it's like you're drunk enough at a party, this song's on, that crowd is all yelling the hey together after each line of the chorus. Like,
yeah, I can just imagine being like, I mean, I can't even imagine like when the song came out and you were at a party and like this song came on, it'd be like, holy shit, like this night's going to be amazing.
At a frat party.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, so I know the music video is like, like
undeniable
make-believe
frat party.
but like, I'm not a frat dude, but like, I went to college parties, like, just like at some like shit house. And it was like,
I
you
love
get
a house
keg
party.
and, dude, me too. Like, that's why this song is so like when I first heard it, I was like, oh my God, where was this 3 years ago? Like, it's like actually I hate a frat party. I love a house party though.
Yeah.
So,
but Sean, you know what I love about this song? Sticking true to his Philly roots, he worked the word John into one of the lyrics.
Oh God, yeah. So speaking of shit that hasn't aged well, it's like Find a New John. Like now it's like you have those like fucking Philly like Morgan and Morgan billboards, and it's like I'm John Morgan. It's like John is dead.
Yeah.
John is dead.
But this song comes out, it's huge huge by like minor. It made the top 20. But Asher Roth, like there is a buzz around this dude. He makes it into the XXL freshman with fucking Kid Cudi and B.O.B. and Wale.
Yeah.
Dude, he has Busta Rhymes on his first album.
Yeah,
for
like
Christ's
it's
sake.
like
That's
the stuff,
awesome.
It's crazy
Yeah.
how much was like thrown at this dude from Universal. Like they knew this was going to do something.
He got some cred. You would think that, that XXL thing I thought was huge, that 2009 freshman class. You have artists, gigantic artists he's with. So they definitely put him in the company of respected artists. And that's cool. That gives him some cred. You mentioned this being the birth of like what they called frat rap, which is college-oriented subgenre of hip-hop. Now in Pittsburgh, we had our equivalent, I guess, which is Mac Miller.
Yeah.
And when Mac Miller first came out, I stuck my nose up at it. But now in retrospect, I'm like, oh my God, he's incredible. And
I didn't realize he was from Pittsburgh.
oh yeah. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
All right. Well, I've been sleeping, I guess.
Yeah. I also feel like I saw that dude Hoodie Allen, who we had on Chris DeMakes, thrown into this subgenre, which wasn't too much of a fan of his music. I saw Little Dicky put into this.
For sure. I think Little Dicky at least is frat rap to me.
I guess, but he's more like, I don't know. I know he doesn't like that. He's actually incredible. I actually think Little Dicky is like one of the most talented, clever rappers that I've ever seen. When you watch him do those freestyles on like the Breakfast Club and stuff, it's like unbelievable. But I don't know that I think it's kind of comedy, but maybe you'd put this frat rap also on the borderline of like, oh, they always have funny things they say.
I think that to me, and it's hard to define what a genre that barely exists is. You know what I mean? But like, like there's like nerdcore hip hop, right? Which is like the basic gist of that is like just people who tend to rap about nerdy things, right? Like I would say that frat rap isn't necessarily that it's about college, but that it's like rapping about the shit that dudes in a frat would talk about. And with Little Dicky stuff being so like over the top sexual in a comedic way, like that to me is like complete frat humor in its sense. That's why I do think it qualifies. Also, just throwing it out there, Little Dicky signed with Scooter Braun.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I don't know anything about this dude, but apparently, I don't know, it might be up my alley. I don't know.
Little Dicky?
He had
I
a
don't
show
know
on
anything about
FX. It's great.
Dude, he's a Philly
Holy shit.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I'm like so like the hip hop scene to me is like so like hit or miss.
Well,
I mean,
Sean.
you know what I mean? Like I just
Check
Sean.
out the album Professional Rapper by Little Dicky.
Okay.
Well, also, Sean, Little Dicky has his own show on FX that he's had like 3 or 4 seasons of. It's called Dave, and it's amazing. Just watch the show and you'll become a fan of the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Introducing Internet Supreme Court, the new live stream show where we judge everything in the current cultural zeitgeist.
We cover news, memes, Reddit drama, X-nonsense, and try to stare long enough into Mark Zuckerberg's eyes to see if he has a soul.
He doesn't. Check us out every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on InternetSupremeCourt.com, premiering in March 2025.
Check out InternetSupremeCourt.com for more or follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky.
I Love College comes out. It's huge. He gets to go on tour with Blink-182, which is crazy
Really?
to me that he was
Really?
He
I
was
didn't know
the
that.
opener for the second half of their reunion tour.
Wow.
In the fall
Holy
of
shit.
2009. The first tour he went on was with Kid Cudi and B.O.B. Like, dude's being rocketed to the moon here. Puts out his second single, Lark on My Go-Kart.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys listen to Lark on My Go-Kart?
Is that on Asleep in the Bread Aisle? Because
Yeah.
I
It's
could
the opening track.
I listened to a lot of Asher Roth while I was doing the research, but I did not listen to that one. I don't think.
I love the music to this song. Whatever the beat is that they pick for this song is fucking awesome. Lyrically, it has some. If we think
No
that
good.
some of the lyrics in I Love College aged poorly, the lyrics in Lark on a Go-Kart are rough.
Let me.
All right. Well,
I
you
have
gotta be
some thoughts on Lark on My Go-Kart. Okay?
Okay.
I love Mario Kart, and that's referenced in here. So I did
Yeah.
love, especially around this time, you're talking about Wii Mario
Yeah.
Kart, which that was like the peak of Mario
Dude,
Kart
I still have
culture.
my N64 hooked up.
Yeah, well, Wii was when you played online. They've since closed those.
Oh shit! Yeah, my son likes to play. I have the fucking steering wheel.
Yeah,
over
that's
here. Yeah,
they've
yeah.
since closed those networks down, but we spent a lot of time playing
Yeah.
the Mario Kart on the Wii. So I like
For sure.
that. The song does have a fun beat, and he has like a decent flow in it, but like a lot of critics said about it, it lacks substance. But I ask, does fun music always need to have
No.
substance? But
This
Matt,
song I've been listening to for years. This was the song that made me go, oh, maybe there's more to Asher Roth than I Love College.
what
Because I
doesn't age?
love this beat.
you referenced something not aging well in this song.
I
didn't-
just mean that some of it is pretty sexist.
okay.
Sitting on a truffet, puffing on the best cut buds, trying to get butt from Miss Muffet. Me and Teddy Ruxpin stirring up a ruckus, egging all the houses, smashing all the pumpkins, suck a dick butt kiss. Chumps can't funk with the punk kids. Ash Roth be the king of the Blumpkins. Any Tim Duncan, spur of the moment.
It's just whatever
You know,
to go
yeah,
along
yeah.
with it, and it's
But the beat is awesome.
yeah, the beat's cool.
Yeah.
The beat's really cool. He also
mean-
had a single that went nowhere with CeeLo Green
Yeah,
called
Yeah.
Be By Myself, which is basically about it's that typical rap song of, listen, bitches, I can't be tied down. There's too much Asher Roth to go around, baby.
My problem with this one was the music kind of sounds like Smash Mouth or
Yeah,
something.
Oof. That's a tough hang.
Yeah.
See, the problem I think with Asher Roth, and again, Asher, please hang tight if you're listening, because I am about to send so much praise your way in a
Yeah, buddy,
couple
come over and
seconds.
party at my house. I'm in Westchester.
Yeah, but
We'll drink some 40s.
so and a lot of this I got from a few different elements. Obviously, we occasionally reference Todd in the Shadows. He did a video on this song, and I rewatched that to get some additional information. What ends up happening after this album is Asher Roth leaves the major record labels and goes to independent record labels. And the big thing there's an interview with Scooter Braun where he was like, Asher Roth could have had the world, but he didn't want to be famous. And Todd then takes that and says something I think is very true, which is he's like, similar to Mac Miller. I think Asher Roth realized that under a major record label, he would always have to be listening to what people were doing because they wanted him to be like the hip hop Justin Bieber. Like, Justin Bieber's huge.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. And that, it took him forever to put out the second album because he had so many different voices telling him, you should have this person featured. You should have this person do a thing. That he eventually goes independent and puts out what I think are astronomically better albums. The two albums that he did after Asleep in the Bread Aisle are just good, interesting records. He actually had a song featuring Akon that was on Madden NFL 12. like,
Yeah.
and that was when he was like doing the independent thing. But there's a song on his most recent album that came out April of 2020, so still pretty damn recently, and I fell in love with it immediately.
I'm so glad you're referencing this because I listened to that album and I loved it.
The All Add Up, the song All Add Up.
I love the whole album, but yeah.
So the song All Add Up, Chris, did you get around to All Add Up?
I listened to singles from, like, in 2010, he released that Grind song.
Yeah, that Grind song was really good, too. I like that song a lot.
That song's not bad. It's like got a big and dancey chorus. And, when I heard a song like that, I was like, I could see people saying that this is extremely cheesy, but I kind of like it because I like a good pop song. Basically, it was like a good pop song with hip-hop verses.
He did this EP with Travis Barker, and I don't know that Nuts Raw is the name of the producer, but it's really fucking good.
What a great name.
It's a great name, but it's really fucking good. But yes, the most recent album, he recorded it. He moved back to Pennsylvania, got together with his music friends, and put out this album in 2020. And the lead single was a song called It All Adds Up. I was listening to it. I'm like, this song is him explaining everything that happened over the last couple of years. And the second verse was when I realized it, because the second verse, he says,
Cause the truth was I didn't give two fucks. The groupies, the crew love, are trying to get new buzz. The interviews, the who's, what's cool, we should do something. Envious of everyone who's racking up a number one. Dumb. Rapping for the accolades. Don't you know the passion isn't stacking up the memories? The XXL, you was on the front page. The MSG, you was on that summer stage. That was dope. All the European shows, doing front flips with Mac. In Norway with Steve Aoki. Most F with Magic, playing Imagine and Madden, man. These become the moments, and the only thing that matters, man, you know this. Everything in your past.
I think that the whole point of that song is like,
I think that's great.
I'm like, that's awesome. That the song is just like, fuck being famous. Have good memories with your friends doing what you love. That's the shit that matters, not if you have the number one song in America.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I don't know. Yeah, well, just like doing some research for this podcast, like, I had a Sleep in the Bread Aisle, like, and I was like, this is back when you had to like, I wasn't, there was no like streaming services, so I bought it on iTunes, and I was like, fuck, this is great. Like, I'm like very like hip hop. Like, I got into hip hop late. I was like, I'm punk all the way. Like, I didn't even listen to Snoop Dogg till like I was like 19, 20 years old. You know what I mean? Like, I used to listen to like DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince and whatnot. That was like one of my first CDs that I bought in the long box. But it was just like, wow, this is really good. And I love that whole album. And like, it made me go back and listen to, some more of his catalog. And I'm just like, damn, this is really good.
Yeah. I honestly think Asleep in the Bread Aisle and I Love College are the lowest points in his musical output. I think that everything that came after it, he's really good. I think
it's almost like his Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, well, but he's got.
What I mean?
It's not that bad.
It's not. Oh, you
called it out with Lark on a go-kart. He has a really interesting flow that I like a lot, and I also think that interesting flow isn't really on display on I Love College.
There's a bunch of like. All right, I'm gonna pinpoint a couple other white dude rappers that I like that remind me of Asher Roth. This one dude, Wax, he's great. And this dude, Watsky, they don't like just sing about like, bitches and blunts or whatever. And like, there's, well, first of all, I love like 90s hip hop, but like, I just hate the mumble rap that's out now. I just fucking hate that shit.
It's past at this point.
That's mostly gone.
Yeah,
thankfully.
it's moved on. I think you can find some diamonds among the rough, even in mumble rap and stuff.
Yeah.
But
can you?
Juice WRLD ruled.
Juice WRLD.
See, I don't know what the hell that is.
Juice WRLD. There's a good documentary about Juice WRLD on HBO Max.
Yeah.
It sounds like a documentary. Juice WRLD.
He died really young because his plane was landing somewhere and he had a bunch of drugs and he realized there were cops when he was landing, so he took all the drugs and died. He died. He was like 19 or 20 years old.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you know what? I've heard of that. I actually have heard
the
of that.
Lucid Dream song that was like his big hit is a really fucking good song.
Really? All right. Well, I guess I got some research to do.
Yeah. But when it comes to Asher Roth, another one that if you like gym class heroes, You probably
it's-
like Asher Roth. This whole
I'm like, yeah,
scene of music is like, it's basically pop music with
yeah.
with rapped verses and these big choruses, which a lot of times with what you consider, I don't know if real is the right word, hip hop or whatever, the giant like pop choruses aren't there. You don't really hear big pop choruses on like a Wu-Tang album or something. You hear something catchy, but not something necessarily like this guy makes pop songs. And that's okay with me.
There's a lot of like melody in the background.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like it's like that kind of thing. I mean, the song we're talking about, I mean, I know he sampled Say It Ain't So, but also like the backbeat of the drums is like exactly that the beginning, like I ain't going out like a sucker like that. It's like
10% Diss by MC
Yeah,
Light.
yeah. Like that's the whole, like that drum beat is the whole back. I mean, and it's not like, I mean, anybody can do that beat. It's like boom, pa-ta, boom, boom, da, boom, pa-ta, boom. But it sounds exactly like that. So it's like, it's like, all right. I can think about like, I'm just thinking about how this song came together. And it's like, so he listens to that song, that 10% Diss, and it's like, I just think about like some dudes like smoking weed and like being in like a dorm and being like, what if we put Say It Ain't So to this and then just started singing? Yeah,
I didn't even know about the Say It Ain't So thing until you guys just told me. I didn't come across that, but I don't know where Scooter Braun came in the process of making this song, but I could imagine that he recorded this over a generic-ish beat, and then things, when he worked with producers or stuff got incorporated. I don't know if he came out, if he's the one that discovered what to sample or whatever, but it seems like something that would fit over a lot of different beats. I do want to talk to you guys about when this song hit on April 11th, 2009. Peaked at number 12. It's respectable. It's not a top 10, but number 12. This is at the height of the number one song being Poker Face from Lady Gaga. If you want to put yourself into the time. Also popular at this time, Right Round from Flo Rida. We had the Gives You Hell from All American Rejects was huge at this time.
Oh my God.
Lady Gaga was also Just Dance. So she was really just coming out at this point.
Yeah, this was the start of Gaga.
Yeah.
I love Gaga.
And
so
what's
much.
funny is one spot, he was one spot below Day and Night from Kid Cudi when this was at its peak. So these XXL freshman class artists are kind of hitting at this point. And also I wanted to make note of the fact that MGMT management, is it MGMT or management? I love this band and I still don't know what to call them.
I always just thought they were just MGMT.
Yeah, I did too, but I think they referred to themselves as management recently on something I watched, and I was like, whoa, you're blowing my mind. But Kids,
That's like
Kids
like,
was at number 93 at this
It's like
moment.
that scene in The Office where Andy's like, it's true now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not going to call you that. It's like, you're just MGMT, okay? I'm not going to call you management.
Yeah. I got a game for you guys if you want to play a game.
Oh, game time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you guys can here's the deal. You know the deal. You can get 2 points.
Yeah.
2 points if you get it without the multiple choice. If you need the multiple choice, you'll get 1.
Do we have to buzz in?
Yeah,
Also,
Buzz.
hold on. Real quick, Chris, because I
What do you
wanted
guys-
to solve this answer once and for all.
Okay.
MGMT was formed as a band called The Management and then found out that there was already a band called The Management. So
Okay.
they reworked the name to be what like the college course abbreviation for management courses is.
Right. Okay.
Has anybody listened to the band The Management that they could not name themselves as?
Probably not, but
Probably not.
copyright law in full effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
Okay. So you know the deal.
Yeah.
You can say I got it. Or you could say I love college. You say I love college.
I'll just
to
say
buzz in.
college.
Okay,
Yeah.
college. College works.
Beer bong.
And I'll say drinking.
Drinking. College. Beer bong.
Okay. On April 6th, 2009, this film reboot, directed by J.J. Abrams, premiered.
College.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Star Trek.
yeah.
You got it. Damn. 2 points for Sean
Damn.
right away.
Do we have another Joel on our hands?
Enterprise. Starship Enterprise.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, I love Star Trek and I love Star Wars, but yeah.
That
Okay.
sounds like an Asher Roth song.
I love Star
I love
Trek.
Star Wars.
I love Star Wars.
And I love college. On April 9th, 2009, this mockumentary TV series debuted on NBC?
Parks and Rec. Sorry, college.
You got it.
Damn it.
Damn, dude.
4-0, Sean. Okay. This
Great
is
show,
all,
by the way.
In case you wondered, these have to do with the time that I Love College.
2009.
Was popular.
Yeah.
On
Good
April
year.
13th, 2009, this infamous person was found guilty of second-degree murder of actress Lana Clarkson in 2003. On April 13th of 2009, this infamous person was found guilty of second-degree murder of actress Lana Clarkson in 2003.
Sean, if you're okay for it, let's go multiple choice
Yeah,
on
let's
this
go
one.
multiple choice. Yeah.
A. Robert Durst. B. Richard Ramirez. C. Phil Spector. Or D. Ted Bundy.
I'm going to go C.
I'm going to say A.
You got it, Matt. It's
Yeah!
Phil Spector.
Son of a bitch. Phil Spector, really?
Yeah.
Isn't he like living in like? Isn't he like on the run somewhere? Like, is he in jail
I think Phil
I think
Spector
he's in jail.
or is he dead?
Or dead. He's
I think he
Am I
might be
thinking
dead.
of? I'm thinking of
You're thinking of Robert
Roman
Durst.
Polanski or something.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
Roman Polanski went to Romania or something.
Yeah, Phil
I don't
Spector
know.
died.
He's like on the run somewhere. Yeah.
On April 25th of 2009, this Tony and Emmy award-winning actress, known best for her roles on Maude and the Golden Girls, passed away at the age of 86.
Oh wait, drinking?
Go ahead.
Was that when B. Arthur died?
You got it.
Yeah.
Chris, I know you love Golden Girls,
do.
but I haven't seen one Golden Girls
Wow.
episode.
What?
Yeah, I know, dude.
Wow.
I don't know, man.
Damn.
I know.
Making a
right.
comeback. Making a comeback.
Yeah,
4-3.
it's coming back now.
It's 4-3. In November of 2011, this rapper released his debut studio album, Blue Slide Park.
No clue.
No clue either.
Multiple choice.
A. Travie McCoy. B. Wale. C. Lil Dicky. Or D. Mac Miller.
I'm gonna say D. Mac Miller because that's the only person that I know of that you mentioned.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
I don't know.
shit!
You
Nice.
guys still got to buzz in. I don't know, like what the-
college, Mac
Yeah,
Miller.
Yeah, you got it.
Sweet.
It's 5-3.
Yeah, I
everybody
knew
in
too that it
Pittsburgh-
wasn't, but I wasn't.
Did you make up all those like three names or
No,
or was those the
Travie
real
McCoy.
people?
Travie McCoy was
Dude,
Gym
I told
Class
you I didn't know
Heroes.
that much about hip hop.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
Gym
Travie
Class
McCoy-
Heroes guy.
Yeah, it's Gym Class Heroes.
All right. Oh shit! I'm sorry.
And there is a Blue Slide Park in Pittsburgh. That's why, like,
Oh.
you guys not knowing, like, everybody in Pittsburgh knows Blue Slide Park is Mac Miller. I was like,
Oh, nice.
I thought
Okay.
Matt would have got that. All right,
No.
5-3.
All right.
All right. Well,
On September 13th of 2009, Asher Roth's I Love College lost for Best Hip Hop Video to We Made You by who?
Oh, drinking.
Go ahead.
That was Eminem.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
5-5, and we got one question left.
All right. Here
oh
we go.
man, this is. I'm like,
This is anybody's game.
Yeah.
I'm nervous now.
At those same VMAs,
Fuck.
Asher Roth lost for Best New Artist to which artist who had a song about not plainly showing their emotions?
Fuck.
Was it Lady Gaga? College?
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
You got it. You won.
Oh my god!
It was Poker Face.
Hell yeah!
Congrats, Sean. Good job.
shit.
You beat Matt. You slayed the beast.
That was a
You
close
guys know a
one.
lot more about music than me. That was just a lucky guess.
That was the closest I think we've ever come in trivia.
That was
Dude.
That was pretty good. Okay. Asher Roth. Thunder, Blunder, Hinder, or Greenwood? We'll start with you, Sean. How do you feel about Asher Roth?
He's a thunder in my book. I'm happy that this was the song that I did because it kind of rejuvenated my love for his catalog. So I'm gonna give him a thunder.
Okay. How do you feel about it, Matt?
I'm giving him Thunder too. If you were like me and you hated this song, I really do think that this is like the bottom of the barrel for his stuff. Like all of his other stuff is so good that I just think that this was, I mean, I get why this song was a hit. I get why this song was a success. I just think that he's way better than this song. So I say go and check out some of his other stuff. His newest album is really good. Check out the EP that he did. It's called Roth. It's RAWTH. So it's a play on his last name Roth, but like Raw. That is a really solid like 15-minute EP. It's a quick listen, but it's really good.
So it's up to me whether this is a unanimous Thunder.
And this is the first time if we certify it, I could literally drive this to Asher's.
Yeah, we could go to his house.
It's not necessarily something I would see myself listening to, but maybe a song here and there. Yeah. I mean, I would go Thunder for this. I mean, I actually even think the actual song that we're talking about, I Love College, I don't really like the subject matter or the lyrics that much, but I got to admit it's catchy. The second I heard it, I was like, oh, yeah, this is every college kid in the year 2009 that's at a party. This should be. I'm surprised it actually wasn't higher than number 12, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, and
Agreed.
He kept his career going, doing what he wants to do and staying true to himself and keeping it real here. I would say this is a certified Thunder all the way around.
All right, let's mail him the check.
Yeah.
We'll send him a certificate. And Sean, before you go, where can people see you? What you got anything to promote here?
Jeez. I mean, you can find me on. I mean, I'm the whole reason I got on here is because like I said, I emailed somebody like, but I'm a big Punchline fan, and sometimes I show up and take photos of your guys' shows. You can find me at Sean SEAN P Quilty QUILTY on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook or any of that stuff, but if you want to, I'm not like, I don't post that much, but if you want to find me,
he's a talented photographer for sure.
His photos are always really, really good.
Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Thanks for being here, Sean.
This has been One Hit Thunder. One Hit Thunder is hosted by Chris Fafalios of the band Punchline and produced by Matt Kelly of Geekscape.net. Underneath me, you're hearing Rewind off the Punchline Rewind EP. Visit punchlinemusic.com for any upcoming news on the band. Our podcast is on Patreon now. Find us at patreon.com/OHT podcast for early access to episodes, bonus conversations, and a chance to vote on future songs for us to cover. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us on any podcasting app, and tune in next week for more One Hit Thunder.
All I know is I'm unknown by these things I cannot say. Rewind, 'cause passing won't cut it this time.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.
This is Lawrence Lanahan, journalist, musician, and host of Rearranged, an Osiris Media podcast about music arranging. Once a song is written, arrangers make musical decisions that shape how we end up hearing the song. And we're not just talking about adding orchestral accompaniment, like horns and strings, or doing a cover version of a song. Arrangement can be putting happy music over dark lyrics, using samples, recording all acoustic, even tiny decisions like putting an electronic loop into an acoustic song to draw your attention to an important turn of phrase. It's all arranging. Rearranged episodes are documentary essays where I use arrangements to answer some big questions like what is a song? And what can a song become? And how can the sound of a song change the meaning you take from it? Listening this way has changed my relationship with music. Tune into Rearranged, and maybe it'll happen for you too. Learn more at rearrangedpodcast.com.
Osiris. Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Reed Mathis. I made a podcast called The Gifts of Improvising. That's coming out on Osiris. We talk to all your favorite improvisers.
Natalie Cressman, Marco Benevento, Tom Hamilton,
Aaron Magner, Holly Bowling, Bill Kreutzmann,
and Jay Lane.
So what are you doing, a podcast?
Yeah, doing a podcast.
So don't fear if you hear a foreign sound to your ear.
We need the gifts of improvising.
Improvising.